Hello, my name is Dr. Dewan S.Raja. Today I will discuss about the muscles of the back of the forearm. Let us start with the superficial muscles of the back of the forearm. We have 7 muscles: anconeus, number 2 brachioradialis, number 3 extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis, extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris. Each muscle has origin, insertion, nerve supply, action. Anconeus, it takes origin from the lateral epicondyle of the humerus, inserts into the lateral aspect of the olecranon process, and the upper 1/4 of the posterior surface of the ulna. Nerve supply, radial nerve, root value C6, C7, C8. Action, weak extensor of the elbow joint. This muscle is a small muscle, so its extensor function is weak, but it also abducts the ulna during pronation. This is a possible action. Mostly it is a weak extensor of the elbow joint. Then the second muscle, brachioradialis, origin from the upper 2/3 of the lateral supracondylar ridge of the humerus. Insertion, lateral surface of the radius, just above the styloid process. Nerve supply or innervation, radial nerve, root value C5, C6, C7. Action, flexes the forearm. We know that when a muscle crosses a joint, that muscle acts on that joint. So it flexes forearm, especially in mid-prone position, help in supination and pronation, and keeps the forearm in mid-prone position. Extensor carpi radialis longus, origin from the lower part of the lateral supracondylar ridge of the humerus. Insertion, dorsal aspect of the base of the second metacarpal bone. Nerve supply, radial nerve, C6, C7. Action, it extends the wrist, abduct the wrist. So, extensor carpi radialis longus. It not only extend but also abduct the wrist. Next muscle is extensor carpi radialis brevis, origin from lateral epicondyle of the humerus, common extensor origin. We have to know that from the lateral supracondylar ridge, we have the muscle like that of the brachioradialis, okay, and the extensor carpi radialis longus. From the lateral epicondyle of the humerus, it has common extensor origin. Okay, so multiple extensor muscle take origin from the lateral epicondyle of the humerus. Insertion of extensor carpi radialis brevis, dorsal aspect of the base of the second and third metacarpal, mostly third metacarpal. Nerve supply, deep branch of the radial nerve, root value C7, C8. Action, extends the wrist. Its name is extensor. The extensor extends the wrist and abduct the wrist. So we got the extensor carpi radialis brevis. We need 3 more muscles in the superficial group of muscle at the back of the forearm. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so before going there, so we have this. We have the extensor digitorum, origin, lateral epicondyle of the humerus, common extensor origin. Insertion, extensor expansion of the index, middle ring and little finger. nerve supply of the extensor digitorum, posterior interosseous nerve. Action: extends all the fingers except the thumb at the metacarpophalangeal and interphalangeal joint. Okay, it extends. Extensor digiti minimi, origin lateral epicondyle of the humerus by common extensor origin. Insertion, extensor expansion of the finger. Okay, then nerve supply, posterior interosseous nerve root value C7, C8. Posterior interosseous nerve is a continuation of radial nerve once it passes through the supinator muscle. Extensor digiti minimi, action extends the little finger at the metacarpophalangeal and interphalangeal joint. Extensor carpi ulnaris, it takes origin from lateral epicondyle of the humerus, because you know that lateral epicondyle is the site of origin of multiple superficial muscles on the back of the forearm. Lateral epicondyle of the humerus, common extensor origin, posterior border of the ulna. This is the origin. Insertion, dorsal aspect of the base of the fifth metacarpal. Okay, and nerve supply, posterior interosseous nerve. The action, extensor, so extend the wrist joint, and adduct the hand. Okay, we got that. Okay, so before going there, let us summarize some of the images so that we can get some idea. Okay, we have the superficial muscle at the back of the forearm with the brachioradialis, extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis, then extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, okay, extensor carpi ulnaris. So we are saying common extensor origin here on the lateral epicondyle of the humerus. On the lateral supracondylar ridge, origin of brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus. Regarding deep muscle, we have the supinator, then abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus. We'll get an anatomical snub box here. We have the deep muscle. Another muscle is the extensor indicis. So here extensor pollicis longus. Here another muscle is this is the muscle extensor indicis going to the index finger. Okay, so lateral epicondyle here, this is the radius, this is the ulna, this is the dorsal tubercle. Origin of muscle abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus. They form one anatomical snub box here. Okay, anatomical snub box. Then we found that extensor pollicis longus origin from here, and extensor pollicis longus go to the thumb at the distal phalanx. Okay, extensor pollicis longus. This is extensor pollicis longus. It goes to the distal phalanx. Okay, and a lot of extensor muscle are getting inserted to the extensor digitorum expansion. We have some outcropping muscle. These are deep muscle. These are destined for the thumb. What are the muscle tendon going to the thumb? Abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, and extensor pollicis longus. Okay, then we'll get the anatomical snub box here. Okay, Superficial muscles at the back of the forearm. We have gone through this. These are the description. Extensor carpi ulnaris, nerve supply posterior interosseous nerve. Okay, again muscular attachment and bony impression, lateral epicondyle for common extensor tendon origin. Okay, then we'll look at that. This is the common extensor origin from the lateral from the lateral epicondyle. Okay, and we have like this supinator muscle will insert here, supinator muscle, and we have the anconeus attachment of an anconeus here, and we'll get the abductor pollicis longus here, extensor pollicis brevis, then extensor indicis. Okay, we got that. Okay, then we have here the extensor capillaris longus and brevis is also inserting here the second metacarpal base and the third metacarpal base. Okay, we got that muscular attachment and bony impression. Okay, deep muscles of the back of the forearm. We have the supinator muscle, extensor indicis, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus. Okay. Origin of supinator, superficial part, lateral epicondyle of the humerus. Okay, because it is this muscle is coming from the common extensor origin from the lateral epicondyle. Then deep part from supinator crest of the ulna, insertion lateral anterior and posterior surface of the proximal third of the radius, nerve supply deep branch of the radial nerve, supinates the forearm and hand. Extensor indicis posterior surface of the distal third of the ulna and adjacent interosseous membrane, insertion extensor expansion of the index finger, nerve supply posterior interosseous nerve, action extends the index finger. Then abductor pollicis longus, posterior surface of the upper part of the ulna, interosseous membrane, radius distal to the insertion of the supinator, insertion base of the first metacarpal bone, nerve supply posterior interosseous nerve, action A-B duct and extend the thumb at the carpometacarpal joint. Okay, this is the back of the forearm. These are the muscle with the superficial muscle with the deep muscle. Okay, so we got the muscles, the back, deep muscles, the back of the forearm. These are the deep muscles. Okay, this is again the images. We have gone through that part. Okay, this is the anconeus. Then we have got the brachioradialis here. Okay, we have the brachioradialis, extensor carpi longus, extensor carpi brevis muscle, extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris, superficial muscle. Deep muscle, we have the abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis. Then we have the extensor pollicis longus and extensor indicis muscle, supinator, extensor indicis, going to the index finger, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis. These three muscles make the boundaries of the anatomical snub box. And this is the muscle origin, insertion, nerve supply, action. Again, extensor pollicis longus, posterior surface of the middle third of the ulna and adjacent interosseous membrane, dorsal aspect of the base of the distal phalanx of the thumb, pollicis means going to the thumb, extends the metacarpophalangeal joint of thumb, first metacarpophalangeal joint, and first carpometacarpal joint. Okay, and that's all about the muscles at the back of the forearm. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me. Please share the information with your friends. Please support my channel. Please subscribe me. Have a nice, wonderful and blessed day. Bye now.